Être un sniper, c'est une histoire de science. Vous devez prendre en compte le sens du vent, la vitesse, la distance. Mais aucun calcul au monde ne peut vous sauver si la cible, c'est vous. Il faut pas me sous-estimer.
Well, the first thing that makes it different, I personally don't think there's anything out there quite like Shooter right now, because it's also told in serial format. So each one of our 10 episodes, well, except for the finale, is a cliffhanger. So it kind of leaves you wanting more, which I love. I love that kind of television. So each week is a completely different experience on the way to the resolution in episode 10. And so this first season, I'm playing Bob Lee Swagger, who's a former Marine sniper, and he's out and living a peaceful life with his wife and daughter when he's drawn into this conspiracy and then ultimately framed for an assassination attempt. So our first season is really about him trying to stay alive, prove his innocence, keep his family safe, and hunt down the guys who set him up and bring them to justice. And so, you know, and the action just gets, you know, with each episode it goes higher and higher. The degree of stunts and fighting that I get to do in the show, which is really exciting. And then there's a lot of emotional heart because of the fact that in our version, Bob Lee has a wife and daughter, so they are also in jeopardy, and it makes for some pretty dramatic moments. Because I'm a little crazy, I thought it would be exciting for the audience, and before I get too old and I had the physical ability to do it, it was exciting for me. You know, I get that I'm a risk taker, and I'm a physical guy, so I got a big adrenaline rush out of doing a lot of it, and I think that today audiences are looking for the stuntman and where is the trick to it all, and when you see that it's my face and you see that I'm doing these dangerous things, I think it makes you pay a little closer attention. It's like you're kind of experiencing it more with the character rather than, you know, just watching something unfold. You're kind of right in there with me. There were quite a few challenging fight scenes that had a lot of moves to it, and you know, you've got to be very careful because you're doing this over and over again with another person. You're bound to get a little hit here and there. But the jumping off the building in the pilot was pretty intense. I've never done that before, and the stunt people I worked with said they've never seen an actor do that before. And Paramount and Universal did not want me to do it. You know, the insurance did not want me to do it.
But you did it anyway.
Well, I had to convince them. They had to see me do it before we shot it, and see that it would be safe and that I could handle it and all of that. And it was crazy though. It was scary. It was scary. Well, I mean, I think there's an element of that. I think also what John Lavin, the writer, was trying to do was to let you know from the very beginning that although the title is Shooter, this is going to be about treating weapons with the proper respect and care, and that our lead character, Bob Lee, is a hero. He's a good guy going after the bad guys. It kind of flips any preconceived notion of what the show might be on its head, and I think that's a fun way to start, because we're letting the audience know that you're going to be surprised by where this show goes and by how these characters react to the situation. The pace is quite different shooting TV to movies, but having worked with Clint Eastwood, where you only get to do one take, kind of prepared me for TV. And so there's some kind of, over the course of a career, I used to, when I was younger and I would film scenes, I would spend the rest of the night after work like, oh, I could have done this, or I didn't do that, or I was terrible in that moment. When you're shooting very fast and you do so much, you have volume of work through the day, you kind of just have to release it, let it go. And there's something kind of freeing about that, because you're not spending all that time at night like beating, because you're just like, yeah, just go for it, just do it, let's get it done. And that's kind of one of the things that Eastwood taught me, was that he likes the imperfections of things, he likes the vitality and the energy of the first take. And TV is sort of like working with Eastwood in a way. It's like you just keep moving, that's it. Well, there's 8 books, and so our idea is to do 1 book per season. So I kind of already know where it's going to go. But again, the way we've done with this first season, different to the book and different to the film, is, you know, made it our own and added elements, and also updated it for modern day. And but season 2 storyline is so good, so I hope we get to do it. It's really, really good.
Swagger est pas juste un homme capable de se cacher au vu de tous. Il est patient, impliqué, il n'a peur de rien.
Il faut pas me sous-estimer.
Shooter, la nouvelle série événement, prochainement dans votre rendez-vous serial thriller, en exclusivité sur 13e rue.